All right, here we are for round one. And it looks like we have won the die roll, which is quite good for us, considering that we're an aggro deck. Pretty important to be able to attack. All right, we have a ley line, we have a glade cover scout, we have a couple of enchantments, so this is a pretty good keep for us. It's like a pretty slow clock, but we have insurance against wraths. I mean, I don't know. This is what we want to be doing. We just hope that we're fast enough to actually kill them. Let's just go ahead and lead with this Temple Garden in case we need to get a Dryad Arbor. If we draw another land next turn, we're going to want to just play the other land in order to play both of our auras out and then get a Dryad Arbor to basically speed up our clock a bit. But that may not be the case. We're just kind of leaving our options open here. Let's see what they do. They might end up just conceding. This is like a pretty good draw. All right, nope, they're playing it out. Let's see what happens. Another Bogle. Okay, that's fine. That's not quite a Dryad Arbor, but that's kind of the same thing functionally because it's just giving us another 1/1. What I am going to do is just get a Temple Garden here. Put just a little soft to Blood Moon, but I don't think that's a huge issue. I at least hope it's not a huge issue. Alright. I don't think there's anything they can do to make us sacrifice an attacking creature since they can't target us. It might be Shadow, which could be rough. Alright, no. So it looks like they're just Jund, which historically is like a pretty even matchup, to be honest. A lot of people think it's good or bad, good for Jund, bad for Hexproof, because they have Liliana the Veil, they have the discard spells and all that. It's pretty reliant on the draws, to be honest. If they don't have the discard spell for our early creature, or if they don't have the Liliana, then things get pretty rough for them pretty quickly. That's also pretty rough. We were kind of hoping to rip an enchantment there, but that's fine. We will just play out all of our creatures. And we are done. End of their turn, we're going to grab a Dryad Arbor. We empty our hand there just so they can't roll up Liliana to grow Tarmogoyf with the things we would discard. This is also better at just applying pressure in general. If we draw another enchantment, this game is more or less sealed. I can't say we 100% have it in the bag, but if we were to draw like a Daybreak Coronet or an evasion spell, it would be really rough for our opponent. I think the best draw for us here, I mean, a Daybreak Coronet would be nice, but honestly a Rancor would be, would be pretty absurd, just because we already have First Strike, so it would mean we have a 5/3 with First Strike, which is pretty hard for them to break through. Or block, effectively. The nice thing about a Daybreak Coronet or an Ethereal Armor would just be we would have such an enormous creature that they wouldn't be able to do anything about it. Alright, they're inquisitioning themselves to discard Tarmogoyf. Or not discard Tarmogoyf, to grow Tarmogoyf. Alright, so they have Decay, which can hit an enchantment, which is something we need to make sure we are keeping track of. I think they're just planning to do it. Let's go ahead and... nah, we can wait on the Dryad Arbor. Hopefully we don't draw it, but we don't want to open it up. They don't have a red source. Oh, they have Blackleaf Cliffs. Why didn't they play Cliffs there? That's really odd that they didn't play Blackleaf Cliffs. But I don't think we want to get our Dryad Arbor just yet. We'll just take a draw step here. For some reason I thought it was their end step. So we will declare no blocks. They're probably just playing another Goyf. Yeah, okay, well, I guess that makes more sense. It's still odd they didn't play Blackleaf Cliffs. think that might have just been a mistake on their part. In that case, it's probably better to go ahead and just get Dryad Arbor. In case we draw Unflinching Courage, since they're tapping out here. Horizon Canopy is a redraw. I'm going to tap this so we can have Daybreak Coronet still be a live draw. We don't need a chump block yet. Oh, yes. Perfect. That is exactly what we wanted and exactly why we tapped Dryad Arbor. And we will pass. If they attack next turn, we are not going to block. Alright, there's that Cliffs. They played the Tarmogoyf. Alright. That's weird they didn't attack first. Because that completely changes the Goyf math as well. There's a pretty high chance, I feel, that we screw up. They might also just hold back both blockers. I guess they're not... they weren't dead to a Path to Exile, so I think they should have attacked with one of them. That's a pretty good one. Yeah, so we've drawn really well this game. They can now K-Command Dryad Arbor to kill it. They could, like, Swamp, K-Command, Shock Dryad Arbor, get back Goyf, play Goyf. But that doesn't seem particularly good. They're attacking. Sure, we'll go to 11. They didn't... Oh, maybe this... I didn't mark off the swamp before. That's an issue. Okay, that makes more sense. The way they've been playing that is. Alright, so we're going to go on and crack this canopy using one of these lands because we want to attack with the Dryad Arbor now. We can suit up the Dryad Arbor to make it so K-Command doesn't kill it. They've already Abrupt Decayed, so they have one mystery card. Spider Embering that thing just seems like a waste. I think we should do it to our Slippery Bogle. They have to chump the Gladecover Scout anyway. So we will just alpha and pray they don't have like Timber Battle Rage or something. I guess if they have... Oh, wait, we die if they have Bolt. Ooh, hopefully we did not just throw the game away. Okay. Oof. Alright, yeah, if they had bolted our face, we go to 8, and then they 6 us to 2, and then K-Command our face. Could have played that better. Could have held back this Gladecover Scout to chump. Luckily, we did not get punished for there is no justice in the world. Shock themselves with K-Command. Oh, or they're doing the K-Command shock us. Or they can't shock us, because we have a ley line. We weren't dead to the bolt. We just had it the whole way. The whole way. Never didn't have it. Well, that's not a bad one. We don't have a reason to attack with either of those, so we will not. We're just kind of throwing those away. We could put them to 1, but they're already dead next turn if they don't rip anything, so I think it's better to just not die here. That might be incorrect. We might just be supposed to alpha, but it feels like we're... Yeah, that was a mistake, because our Slippery Bogle doesn't die because of the Spider Umbra being on it. Need to be more aggressive with this deck. One of the weird things about Bogles, and I know this sounds silly, is you can just overthink yourself out of those types of situations. No blocks? Is there... Do we die? Like, Timur Battle Rage could kill us, I guess. This makes Timur Battle Rage not kill us. Ooh, okay. Maybe got too greedy? I don't think so, but... Let's see if they can ever erase this. I think the answer is no, but... You know what? Only one way to find out, really. Yeah, they would not have died here, so I guess it doesn't feel that bad that we missed a point last turn. But it does not feel good, I'll tell you that. Alright, there we go. Yeah, they just really weren't ever in that game. So, Influencing Courage is not very good. We want to bring in our Paths for Tarmogoyfs, the last Leyline of Sanctity, and you could justify the Rest in Pieces because they're so good against Tarmogoyf. Oh, Tarmogoyf, excuse me. Overall, I'm a little low on them. The thing about this deck that you have to be sure you don't do is dilute your combo too much, so to speak. This is a synergy deck, and in a lot of ways kind of a combo deck, where you have your combo piece in the form of a creature, and then you also have your enchantments, and that is your combo. You're attacking, so it's when people hear combo, a lot of times they think, alright, I put down this card, and the game ends on the spot. But here it is that we're trying to get an insurmountable advantage out of, you know, a handful of cards that they can't very well interact with. And the more of these cards that we take out of our deck, the less likely it is that we assemble one of those unbeatable combos. So what we are going to do is cut... So the evasion is not as relevant here. They have Tarmogoyf, but they don't go super wide. I think we can look into leaving Griffspoon because it has the recursion. These are a little more suspect. Lunarch Mantle provides a clock, so I don't hate it. Spirit Mantle is really good at blocking Goyf. Core Spirit Dancer actually gets a lot worse here because they have all the removal. I think especially on the draw, we could look to cut a couple of those and just rely a bit more heavily on our little creatures and hope that they're good enough. Let's see how this one goes. This is pretty good. I'm gonna keep it. We have protection from a Liliana and a creature and a Daybreak Coronet. This can be a Dryad Arbor, and that's basically what we can hope for. So we'll hold on to it. We'd like to draw another white source, ideally, or another green fetchland. I mean, a green fetchland is a white source, but... Ooh, Thoughtseize. That's pretty rough, because they just take our Glade Cover Scout and we don't have a threat anymore. But there's a chance they take our Rancor, and that also makes our hand pretty not great. We could also just rip a creature here and blow them out of the water. Alright, so we'll just play our Razor Ridge Thicket for now. This is kind of the risky run playing this kind of deck against a Thoughtseize deck specifically. If we had been on the play this game, we probably won, but we're going to have a pretty hard time on the draw. Alright, Ooze is not much of an issue. We'll play this, and we will pass. This might end up being a game where you really wish these paths were, Core Spirit Dancers. This is also a matchup where Solana Ledgewalker shines. We'll just take two. So they probably have an Abrupt Decay in their hand, or some way to kill a Dryad Arbor. The thought here was if they tapped out, we could get Dryad Armor and then maybe go like Rancor plus Ethereal Armor or something. Or if we drew an Umbra, we could suit it up with an Umbra to protect it from removal. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case, so we'll just hold this for now. There we go. Sometimes lucky. Alright, we're going to keep holding this up to try to play around that Liliana. They don't have another black yet, but I don't think we need to start putting counters on our Glade Cover Scout, or putting auras, rather, on our Glade Cover Scout yet. I'd rather wait one more turn. We're not going to... Unless we draw exactly a land, we can't put the Coronet on this, as is. So I'm not really in the business of trying to make it super tall just yet. We're not really under a lot of pressure. And if the game goes long, it actually favors us, because we end up with just an enormous Glade Cover Scout. Grim Lavamancer. Oof, that's actually pretty good against our Scout plan. Or Scout plan, excuse me, Arbor plan. Okay, that's fine. Not going to be able to do anything about it. We'll go ahead and get a tapped Temple Garden, though. Another Rancor, you say? Alright, well, let's go ahead and get started. I'm just putting the recursive things on it. That way we aren't out too many resources if they just jam a Liliana next turn. And if we put Rancor on it, they could just block with the Grim Lavamancer and we lose our Scout. Now we're kind of taking a leap of faith that they just don't have the Liliana. If they do, we probably lose, but that's just cost of doing business sometimes. You just have to go, well, if you have it, you have it, you know? Alright, let's see what they do. Please just play a land and fire up the Raging Ravine. And then let us draw an untapped white source. Well, they're either slow rolling us or they don't have the Liliana. I'm thinking it's that they don't have a Liliana. But I don't want to jinx it. What you doing, opponent? I hope they're not doing the timeout thing. We got timed out a couple weeks ago on another video with a different deck, round one of a different league. And, I hope that's not what's about to happen here. There we go. Alright, well, I'm going to go on and just F6, because we have nothing to do. Alright, so they're spending all... Okay, yeah, they're spending all their mana. Whatever it is they're doing. Maybe it's Damnation. Damnation, sure. That's a little rough, but... Alright, 7 cards. Yep. Alright, we're gonna go on and path the Scavenging Ooze. It's not ideal, but I don't really have a whole lot of things to do with it. Are they like going to push their ooze or something? Oh, they think they thought they could exile something there. Ooh, gross. Alright, well, if we draw a creature, whew, biggest pants you've seen in your life. Is it Ravine time? No, it is not. Alright, so we're going to draw here. Oof, well, that's not awful, I suppose. Game kind enough to remind us that we have a Griff Spoon in our graveyard that could enchant a Kitchen Finks. That is a legal play. I will give you that. Just that, huh? Well, This kills us in 3 turns, so it's a similar clock to the Sphinx, but we are being more mana efficient and reducing the odds that we have to discard next turn if we do it this way. Ooh, our opponent's drawing so many threats. Ooh, and they had a fetch to go with it? Gosh, that's brutal. That is so brutal. Are we dead next turn? No, we are not dead next turn. We're very close to dead next turn, though. Good grief. Shocking? Oh, sure. Take your pick. Bunch of auras. Probably ethereal armor? Wow. Same. I, too, am shocked. But yeah, it's probably just our ethereal armor, because that's the thing that pumps toughness. Alright, well, I think we're just dead. But we shall see. We drew 2 copies of an 8 of in the top 15-ish cards of our deck, which is, you know, honestly about normal. It's a little on the low side, but that's not too far off. That's about what we could expect. We'd like to get more. If they draw on a tap land, that's really bad for us. If they don't, that's pretty okay for us. Oh, wow. Yeah, that was pretty okay for us, because now we have ways to actually block this. Oh, no, we don't. Alright, well, it does feel pretty bad to, it does feel pretty bad to draw all 4 copies of a 4 of, and only 2 copies of an 8 of, but that's the life you live sometimes. Nah, it's just magic. I don't think there's anything I really want to do differently. Most of what they're planning to do. So they had the Lava Mancer, which makes Spirit Dancer worse, but otherwise we didn't really see a lot of spot removal. Which makes me think it might be okay to have the Spirit Dancer in. That's tough, though. We did see Finks and Lava Mancer, which makes me think, and Ooze seem to be most of their threats, which make me like Rest in Peace a bit more than I did previously. I just don't know what we would call for it if we brought it in. I guess that's my biggest issue. I think I want 1 more creature when we're on the play, though, instead of a path. So we'll just bring in a Spirit Dancer, and we'll try this. Alright, I would love to play first. This does not have a creature, so we will mulligan. This does have a creature, so we will keep it and hope that it is good enough. That is our protection from Liliana, so we're going to leave it on top. Next turn, we just play our fetch and Griff Spoon on the Glade Cover Scout, and then the following turn, we Daybreak Coronet and just start 5ing them in the air and hope that that is good enough. Uh-oh. Probably just take the Coronet here, but they might do something different. Alright, so yeah, we're just going to go ahead and Griff Spoon. I was thinking if there was a chance we wanted to just Canopy and Crack, but that's a little bit less efficient mana-wise. We should have probably played our Canopy instead of the Windswept Teeth there, but I don't think it makes an enormous difference. It doesn't really change our line of play. We're still going to play the Windswept Teeth the following turn unless we draw, I think, exactly a Wooded Foothills. Maybe a Verdant Catacombs. One of our green fetches. That's tough. Otherwise, we're just going to be playing a fetch anyway. But it was technically correct to play a Horizon Canopy instead. Dark Confidant, sure. Perfect. Got him on the ropes. Forest. Oof. God, they're so good at Dark Confidant. Alright. Another ethereal armor off the top would be nice. I still don't want to crack this Heath, though. That is not nice. Alright, so let's go ahead and do this. Not nice. We'll just play another Canopy. We probably should have played a Catacombs there just so we could fetch a tapped Temple Garden. See if they have Abrupt Decay for the armor. They do. Jeez, such a good Dark Confidant. That's like pretty rough for us. Not even joking. We've had a pretty anemic draw this game, and their Confidant has been nice. But we are playing a deck that kind of rolls the dice a little bit, so I know that's very much sounds like me whining, but I promise I don't mean it that way. That's kind of how the matchup goes a lot of the time. It goes back to what I was saying before about it being pretty draw dependent. We've got them low, but they're by no means in a bad spot. So I'm going to go in and get a basic Plains on their end step and crack Horizon Canopy. Yeah. We still have this for Dryad Arbor. There's a chance we should have just played the Spirit Dancer and then Ethereal Armor to draw a card. But that's drawing a card to put down our Dryad Arbor, and I just don't think, or put our Dryad Arbor shields down, and I just don't think that's worth it. Alright, Dark Confidant, be good to us. No, is it gonna die? No. Oh. They ate a card. Jeez, another land with this Confidant. No creatures in yard that this ooze can eat, which is pretty good for us. What did they eat before? A Horizon Canopy, sure. Yep. And I believe that's it. I don't think they have anything, unless they had like a Naturalize to blow up Griff Spoon so they could block. But, make sure and stay tuned for the next game. Thanks a lot. See y'all soon.